Hi there, everyone. It's Maddie Q, trying to hide these grays. But today I want to talk about mental health and children. Recently, Arzu came up to me and she was like, Mom, I think I want to start talking to someone again. We took a little break just because we were moving. I honestly couldn't make some of the appointments happen. She has had a little bit of anxiety because she was 5 years old. She doesn't remember a lot of Oz, his mannerisms and how he was and all that stuff. So I put on videos, photographs and stuff like that, but that's sometimes not enough. She's been having a little bit of anxiety about that, but also about me and Ari and our mortality. I wanted to get her some help. I really had a proud mama moment when she asked for help. When our grief process actually happened, I didn't wait to contact therapist or somebody that can help us, and it was through the guidance of my sister and her lovely partner. They were like, don't wait for a problem to happen. And honestly, I was met with a lot of pushback, which was very surprising to me. They were like, well, aren't you calling us a little too early? I thought that was so strange. I was like, we just went through something traumatic, losing a person suddenly. You think that we should wait to talk about it, to actually work out our feelings? That was so strange. My sister contacted this place called Bo's Place. I love them so much because it's a nonprofit. Amazing. They actually have group therapy, many different coping mechanisms. They have literature. They have a little packet. They have a camp that they do. We were part of all of that. I thought it was so wonderful to start our grieving journey there because they placed us in groups with people that had gone through the same exact situation as us. I'm talking about moms that have children that lost their father to COVID. It was that specific. It was specific for the wives who lost their husband to COVID. Those were the groups. They put them specifically like that so that you can relate to other people in your situation, and it helps have more of a community understand the situation, that you're not alone in this journey. You're not the only one going through something like this, because sometimes it feels like that. When it happens to you, you're just like, oh my gosh, I'm so alone in this process. So it was nice for my kids to make some friends. It was during COVID, so it was all Zoom meetings. They got to talk and work out their feelings. There were kids that would cry. They would see that and they would feel comfortable crying too. Stories of their parents, and that helped them as well. My perspective, for me, it helped because I was still grieving too, and I was still trying to work out my feelings. So I sometimes didn't know what to say. I honestly didn't want to break down every 5 seconds for them to tell me something and then I break down. That was one of the things that was holding Ari back from telling me anything, because he was like, I don't want you to cry. It was a great way for the kids to work out their issues, talk to other people that were going through similar situations, to see that they're not alone in it. Even recently, I thought it was a little discouraging because when Arzu said that she wants to talk again to somebody, reached out to my pediatrician, they referred me to a psychologist. And the problem is that there's just not enough people to fill in all these spots. Then also, appointments are booked out a year in advance. Now, my child has a problem right now. They need somebody to talk to them right now, as opposed to a year later. It's really sad that we are at that point where we don't have enough providers for the amount of mental health that it needs to be addressed. That's why I initially wanted to do something like this. Sometimes you can't wait for a year for your emotions. And if you can search up something and you relate to somebody, learn from their experience, or have some comfort in knowing that she was in my spot at one point, that's my goal here. I don't want to say that this is how you need to do things. This is just my experience on how I dealt with something traumatic like this. I just want to help as many people as I can with my experience and my children's experience. When they see somebody that is sad, that is upset, they recognize it and they try to be there for them. And I love that they learn that through therapy, how to identify emotions. I feel like it's very important, even if kids aren't grieving per se, but they have anxiety, depression, or they're showing signs of frustration, it's good to put them in therapy, because that way you can get to the core of it, understand that they have to work it out. They're not adults like us. And some adults don't know their own emotions. They just go willy-nilly out there. We need to have more people in therapy. So if you have any questions about mental health and children, leave me a comment or DM me, and I will be glad to discuss anything that anybody wants to discuss. Have a great day, guys, and make good choices. Bye.